Well, anyway, we're live, and I and I have a technical question that I should have resolved earlier, so we're just gonna worry about that later. Right now, let's get started with, um, I wanted us to spend a little time talking about points and whys before we get into this week's assignment. And I had a couple of good points that had been given to me um, that I thought Jenny and I could spend a little time um, hashing out. So I wanted to start. I'm sorry, I'm scrolling. Here we go. All right. So someone gave us a point for what I know. So we haven't done genre assignments yet. So this is actually a really great moment to talk about a little bit about genre as we talk about point. This is going to go in well. So this person's point, they described it a little bit differently. They said, falling in love deeply and passionately changes us for the better, making us more curious, open-minded, vulnerable, and full of wonder, even when it ends in heartbreak. That's a great point. It's also a really classic line, which makes it a great point because the point there is 'tis better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. Basically, it's bigger than that. It's a little different. It makes you a better person. Their point is, I think, essentially heartbreak makes you a better person. The part where I would say this to this person is, in your mind, are you writing a romance? Because you can't write a romance with that point. That's not a romance. And this person may not be writing a romance. So their point is great, but if the story that they have in mind has an ending that is not heartbreak, then that's not the point. And again, not saying that they are or they're not. So I don't know. Thoughts along those lines, Jenny? Or
Yeah, it's interesting. It's always interesting to me how hard the point is. It seems like it's going to be easy, and it can be, but you've brought up one reason why it's hard, which is the point is going to, in fact, inform your genre if you're writing a certain kind of fiction, and even if you're writing a certain kind of memoir or a certain kind of nonfiction. But also, there's I think that I would teach this differently, or I would write this differently if I were writing again today after seeing just so many, many, many thousands of points come through. Because there's this idea of it being a billboard or aphorism or a truism or what have you. But oftentimes, the critique that I find myself giving people about their points is that they feel a little bloodless. And I want the point to be an argument, something that you believe, something that you would get up on a soapbox and say. And so, like, heartbreak makes us, what was it? Heartbreak makes us
better person.
better people. Yes. I mean, that's true. And it's also, you could have a gazillion great stories that come from that. But, like, what does this person believe about it? Like, what, like, I want people to be a little angry or pissed off or full of rage or something around their point. Like you want to almost take your reader by the shoulders and say, listen, this is what I think. So there's a sense of that most of the time people have to get to. And the reason I say that they have to get to it is that the whole point of what we're trying to do here with the point, with the blueprint, with all the writing is to connect deeply with our readers, to connect deeply as humans with our readers. And no time has been more important to do that than now with AI, which is, like, are we all just going to have our computers can connect with our computers, and that's where this goes. So, like, reclaiming this human part of it, this quirky, weird way that you think about heartbreak, for example, that you believe from your experience or what you see or know. Like, what would you What would you want people to do or say? So there's a the reason I push and push and push on this is because tapping into that in yourself is how you create something that's gonna connect with the reader around that.
Well, let's
Does
shift
that make
to
sense?
it does, and I wanna shift to another one because what I'm seeing as I look at you responding to people, in the chat, and, y'all, if you haven't put your blueprint points and stuff in the chat, well, we're probably gonna move on from that, but still, it's a great place to, get some commentary on it from us and from your fellow blueprinters, but, um, another one that someone came up with was, you can't change the world without upsetting people, and your point, this kind of was the whole thing got a little bit meta, was basically, well, yeah, you're right. You can't write a book without upsetting people. So give me a point that upsets people.
Yeah.
So, we were sort of pushing to, okay, you can't change the world unless you're willing to destroy it first. Or you can't change the world without hurting someone you love. Um, those are, points that make people angry and want to be a little combative about it. I'm gonna close my doors.
Yeah, yeah, and the again, the reason for that is a book that doesn't, um elicit other opinions or somebody saying, "Well, no, I don't think that's true," or, "Well, wait, I have a different way of looking at this," or, if there's no tension at all in the point, if it's everybody can be like, "Yes, yes," then it's good, but it's not great. And so even with this little point, this tiny little exercise, we wanna get from good to great. Nobody wants to write a book that everyone's just like, "Yes, sure."
Yeah.
And I see this in nonfiction a lot as well, business books that come from subject area experts and educators and, entrepreneurs that are fine. It's like, yes, about leadership or yes, about whatever, money, parenting, but in order to really get readers who are going to be passionate about what you're saying, you've got to be willing to have people who are gonna say, "That's crazy," or they've gone
You were
they're
totally wrong.
yeah, they went too far. They don't That's not true. Like, you want reaction.
So I'm
That's
looking